Hey guys. I'm sure many of you already know, but for those who don't, Chuck E. Cheese has been going on a huge remodeling spree, remodeling almost all of their locations. Some people like these remodels, but I have a feeling most people don't, because they removed the animatronic shows that have been with the company since the very beginning. And the animatronic stage is walled over and replaced with a dance floor and TVs. So to sum it up, the entertainment in these remodeled locations is kinda lacking, with really the only notable form of entertainment being the walk-around performances, since now it's the only way to meet Chucky with the animatronic gone. And the games are still there of course, but they take away a lot of the really fun classic ones with these 2.0 remodels. But something changed recently, something that I need to talk about today. So back in April 2023, the Chuck E. Cheese location in Brooklyn, New York underwent the 2.0 remodel, but doesn't sound like anything out of the ordinary, right? Well, nope. They ended up being the first location in the US to test out the Chuck E. Cheese Trampoline Zone. For those of you wondering what this is, the Chuck E. Cheese Trampoline Zone is essentially just a large set of trampolines set up in the game room of a Chuck E. Cheese location. I think Chuck E. Cheese did this due to the rising popularity of trampoline parks in recent years, and they wanted to catch on. While the 2.0 remodel is pretty bland, I do appreciate Chuck E. Cheese adding these trampoline zones, as I think they finally realized that the 2.0 remodel on its own is kinda bland. I like how vibrant the Chuck E. Cheese trampoline zones are, consisting of that neon green, yellow, and blue. It's really nice to see because most 2.0 locations have bland gray walls to look at. To go along with this, in more recent installations of the Chuck E. Cheese trampoline zone, we get new artwork featuring all of the characters, well, except Pasquale. The company always seems to do him dirty. Instead of Pasquale, we got a Bella Bunny poster, which is actually her first permanent in-store artwork. Bella Bunny is a character Chuck E. Cheese introduced in 2018, and recently she's slowly been being used more instead of Pasquale, kind of phasing Pasquale out. Especially on the Chuck E. Cheese concert tour, where Bella B was present instead of Pasquale, but that's a topic for another day. While overall, I think the trampoline zone is a great concept for Chuck E. Cheese, there are some flaws I would like to point out. Flaw 1. The height limit is super short for these trampoline zones, measuring at just below 5 feet, which I think is really short and limits a lot of the kids that can play in these things. But I know it's just for safety since larger kids could hurt smaller children. Flaw number 2, the trampoline zones are sort of lacking, not really having any other features besides being able to jump on them. Most trampoline parks have more entertainment to them, such as foam pits, basketball goals, and much more, and I feel like Chuck E. Cheese could have really used those things. Flaw number 3 is that with the addition of the trampoline zone, there isn't as much room for games, and a lot of them end up getting removed or relocated. That means that as of right now, the trampoline zones will probably only be exclusive to larger locations, although I did see they made a smaller version. And while I'm not really a fan of the current Chuck E. Cheese remodels, I think the trampoline zone may be a step in the right direction, but we'll just have to wait and see. As of right now, the trampoline zones are only featured in 2.0 remodeled locations, and these locations include Brooklyn, New York, Fairfax, Virginia, Herndon, Virginia, Alexandria, Virginia, and Dale City, Virginia. And in September 2023, will make its debut at the Kensington, Maryland location when it opens. So, what do you guys think of the new Chuck E. Cheese trampoline zones? Let me know in the comments down below. Personally, it sort of reminds me of the Funhouse concept Chuck E. Cheese tested at a few locations back in the mid-2010s. Like I said earlier, I'm not too happy with the changes Chuck E. Cheese has made in the past few years, but I am happy seeing them trying to improve, so hopefully we can get more stuff like this in the future. The trampoline zone is still in the testing phases right now, so don't expect it to be at your local store anytime soon, although it could happen in the near future. I'm not sure if Trampoline Zone is here to stay at Chuck E. Cheese, however, as many tests they've done in the past few years didn't manage to stick around that long, such as the Laser Challenge, Bumper Cars, and the Funhouse I mentioned earlier. For those of you who made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.